Welcome to Collingswood and Oakland Schools PARCC training. I know you're all excited to get started. Admins, please remember to have everyone sign an attendance log to help track who still needs this training. Much of this information can be found in your test administrator manual. You can also view this manual at the AVOCET website shown on this slide. So what's new for this upcoming PARCC test? One major change is that the PARCC test will be administered in only one testing window, so we save more instructional time as compared to last year. Also, we no longer need seal codes. Students will only need their testing tickets to log into the TestNav site. For Collingswood, here's when your group of students will be testing. High school and middle school students will be finished in 3 days starting Monday, April 11th. Students in grades 3 through 5 have 7 days of testing as they will only complete 1 unit per day. These students need 4 math units and 3 units for language arts. Testing for elementary grades will begin April 19th and end on April 29th. In Oakland, the PARCC testing begins on April 11th with students in grades 6 through 9. These students will finish on Monday, April 18th. Students in grades 3 through 5 will start on Tuesday, April 19th and finish on Wednesday, April 27th. This table shows the units that need to be tested for the 2 content areas, English Language Arts and Mathematics. Like last year, each area has multiple units to complete. Within the first math unit for grade 7 in high school, there are separate non-calculator and calculator sections. Within each content area, the units must be followed in order, i.e. Units 1, Unit 2, and so on. But the content may be taken in any order. For us, refer to the calendars to see when specific units are going to be tested. Here are the actual unit testing times for language arts and math. For those individuals who will be administering paper-based tests, please remember to pick up the following items. I also thought this was a good slide to show the difference between the online version and the paper version, at least for the materials. For both versions, we still need a few more items for testing. Obviously, the headphones are for the online test. Headphones will be in the testing rooms and managed by the tech department. Other materials that are needed include the scratch paper, pencils, math tools, and possibly a handheld calculator. Handheld calculators will be provided to only students with accommodations. Only calculators designated for the grade level are allowed. Students may bring their own calculator, but they must meet the same requirements. Also, calculator reference sheets must be removed and memories on all calculators should be cleared. For those sections that need a calculator, for all students, an online tool will be available for them to use. Here's a reminder, as many of you have seen this slide before. In your testing rooms, students should not have access to coats or backpacks during the test. Instructional displays should have been taken down. Students should not have any electronics. Students should place their phones in their locker, or I would make a collection on the teacher's desk and have students write their names on a post-it note which is placed on their phone. No food or drinks, and no textbooks. Students are allowed a pleasure book for reading after the test. More reminders. As a test administrator in the room, please maintain the test security and validity of the test. Avoid reading passages or test items. Do not copy or reproduce any parts of the test, which include taking pictures. Do not remove any parts of the test off of school grounds, and avoid visitors during the test session. In addition, avoid coaching students during the testing, which include giving students verbal or nonverbal cues, hints, or paraphrasing or defining parts of the test. Maintain proper supervision, so please do not grade, read a book, or be on your phone or laptops, as you should also not have any visible electronics. Students should not be left unattended, especially if secure materials are out or testing is still occurring. And please make sure your students are aware of the start and end times of the test and how much time is remaining. If a student points out a problem with the test, follow the following steps. Instruct the student to proceed as best as they can on the item. Write down the content area, course/grade level, form number, item number, and test format. Give this information to your school test coordinator. There's not much, but there are some things that you can do that might help your students. You can reread or clarify the general directions of the test. You can also refocus the student on their test. In the event that some major event delays us from taking the PARCC before we start a unit, we will proceed with testing if the unit can be completed that day, or if not, we will reschedule the unit during a makeup session. If an event disrupts testing during a unit, such as a lockdown or school evacuation, if possible, test administrators will note the time of the disruption so the remaining unit time may be calculated later. Take steps to ensure security for the test materials, and the school coordinator will lock the test units in the PARCC Next system. When we are able to continue testing, the test administrators will inform the students of how many minutes remain in the unit. Write the updated start and stop times on the board, and the test coordinator will resume students in the PARCC site. If you have any problems in your class during the test, such as a disruptive student, security breach, and so on, please contact your school test coordinator immediately. On the day of the test, when picking up materials for your students, please remember to complete your portion of the chain of custody form. The state likes to keep track of when materials are distributed, collected, and destroyed. So what happens on the actual test day? After picking up the testing materials, which the school coordinator will have prepared, students will be coming to your classroom. Attendance needs to be taken on the student roster sheets. Once everyone is situated, the test coordinator will turn on each of the specific units being tested for your students. In the upper grades, the coordinator may stagger this part so our infrastructure does not become overburdened. You will read the script from the test manual, which will inform students when to log on to the PARCC site. When students complete the unit, they will submit, and the school test coordinator will stop the session. If you have students that finish early, after they submit their test, students should close their Chromebooks. At this time, students may read silently. The school test coordinator will periodically monitor the test sessions, and when they see a student has submitted his test, they can lock the test, making it secure. Once all the testing rooms are finished, the school test coordinator will determine dismissal times. Here are a few more items to help with testing. Remember to have your students adjust the headphone volume prior to taking the test to about half to 3/4 loudness. Students should not log on to their PARCC Chrome accounts. On the bottom left, students begin by clicking on Apps and then Test Nav. Again, directions on when to log on will be in the testing script. One technical issue that you may see is error 9059, which means that the username and password are incorrect. This could be caused by students being on the incorrect login page. Make sure students see the word New Jersey where they log in. If there is trouble during the test, make note of the time so we can provide the full unit test time to the student or students. Then follow the process on the next page. If the problem cannot be resolved quickly and a tech person needs to come over, have a student use a new machine to complete his test. Write down the disruption and provide it to the school test coordinator. So let's say a student is thrown out of the PARCC test. No worries. Have the student log back in with his username and password. Next, inform the school test coordinator who will, quote, resume his test, and the student should be back taking the test. This process should clear up most of the issues that may arise. After the test session for the day is completed, just make sure that you return all materials back to your school test coordinator. Headphones will be managed by the tech department. I'm sure you're thinking, now what can I do to make your PARCC testing as smooth as possible? Well, one, you can review your school test schedule. Next, read through the testing script found in the testing manuals. 3 and 4 are more for me and the state. Remember to sign the security agreement and when picking up materials, the chain of custody form. You might be asking yourself, where else can I look for PARCC information or get more training? This slide has 2 links that will satisfy this question. Yes, beating a dead horse here. Please remember to sign that security agreement. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.